Once you are good enough, you are old enough to play. Mason Greenwood has proven this to be true in his breakout season. Man, this young Englishman is a hot prospect. Stick with us. On this day, yeah, man, so Manchester United Football Academy have done it again. They have seemingly produced another gem of a talent in Mason Greenwood. Man, this young English youth is a hot prospect. I mean, so far he has made what? 47 appearances, scoring something like 16 goals. And the youngster is just 18 years old. Still living out his teenage life. Only 18, and he has managed to wrap up 47 appearances, scoring 16 goals. Man, there is tremendous talent in this youngster. And you know, what makes this youth so special is because of how unpredictable he is as a striker. If you show him to the left, he will punish you. If you show him to the right foot, he will punish you. That is something that is, that's a very good quality in a striker. Because you have to be somebody that is very exceptionally good to be one-sided and be effective. Somebody like probably a Lionel Messi or a Robin. Those players that they will cut in on the left foot, but yet still you cannot stop them. But very rare you find a player that is only one-sided and is very effective. But when you see a youngster like a Mason Greenwood at 18 is so clinical in front of goal, whether the right foot or the left foot, this is a hot prospect. This is a talent, serious talent we're talking about. And we hear the coach Solskjaer saying that Mason Greenwood probably is the best finisher he would have worked with so far, or you would have seen. He's saying that whether it is on the training ground or in front of 75,000 people, the youth is clinical in front of goal. He is very calm. And one of the most important thing about a youngster, when you put a youngster in your side, like a 18, and you notice he is not giving away the ball, his ball retention skills are very good, then that is somebody that you want to give minutes. Because usually when you have a 17, 18-year-old kid breaking through in the first team, they usually they are seemingly very nervous, always giving away the ball, overhitting pass. If they do get a shot in and around the 18, is either they scuff it or lean back and rock it over the crossbar. But Mason Greenwood, man, once this youngster is channeled correctly, then man, some things that I am envisioning this youngster achieving, man. I mean, usually when we see some young English talents, they are always putting them up on a pedestal and saying, boy, this is going to be the next this is going to be the next that, and then sometimes they end up watered down. But I am telling you, once this youngster is channeled in the correct way, once he's been coached properly, and the attitude is the next thing. Once the attitude remains good, then the potential is endless right now. And if Mason Greenwood should continue performing like this throughout the rest of this season, leading into next season, then he's definitely sticking his hand up to be selected for the Euro. We know that England, they have a very strong team, but if this youngster keeps on scoring goals like this, then he will be very much in the mix. Can you imagine you have an 18-year-old dribbling, holding up the ball at the edge of the box? All right, the last goal that he scored against, who is it that we played last? I don't even remember who we played last. Aston Villa, the goal that he scored against Aston Villa. I am imagining that the defender was saying, all right, let me show him down to his right foot, so I'm not going to allow him to cut in on his left foot. And what by him start to channel him down to the left, what? To the right, what? Man just smash in one with the right foot. I think it was in the Aston Villa game or the Bournemouth game, I don't remember. But once you have a youngster like this that is so composed and so clinical in front of goal, man, you don't want anything else. I'm telling you, Mason Greenwood is fire, man. The youngster is so good that, and I mean, it's not just because of me being a Manchester United fan why I am saying all of this, but the youngster is good. Just as I can look at Manchester City and say that Phil Foden is a very good midfielder, or he will become a great midfielder. You know, that is the same way I can look and say Greenwood is good. Because Manchester City, I guess David Silva is leaving at the end of this season. They don't need to buy anybody to replace him because Phil Foden is there. It is the same thing right now with Mason Greenwood. We were kicking up rumpus a couple of weeks ago saying that here what we want Sancho, we need Jadon Sancho to come and play on the right hand side for us. And the thing is that if we have Mason Greenwood at such a young age scoring goals, and not only is he scoring goal, he's composed on the ball. He's very good at linking the play. You know, whenever we are counter-attacking, you know, he's not there holding up the ball or passing the ball too far forward or too far backwards. Mason Greenwood is ready. And I am not talking about giving him a 15 minutes there and a 20 minutes there. I am talking about Mason Greenwood starting on the right-hand side and hammering down that spot for himself. Mason Greenwood has basically brushed Daniel James out of the starting lineup. Yeah, man, Mason Greenwood, the youth hot, man. The youth hot. We have to talk truth, man. The youth hot. Because right now, if we go and spend $100 million so we want to sign Sancho, we don't need to do that right now. I mean, we need a cover. Because looking at Daniel James, he's better coming in off the left because I guess that is where he used to play when he was at Swansea City. But coming into Manchester United, we know Marcus Rashford occupies the left-hand side. So Daniel James was basically forced to play on the right-hand side. But I am telling you, Mason Greenwood is not only one for the future, Mason Greenwood is one for the present right now. People were always comparing this youngster to Van Persie. I mean, I was comparing him to Van Persie because of the first couple of goals I saw him scored with his left foot. But when I look at how this youngster can finish with his right foot, I have to say, boy, it would be good if he's able to continue like Van Persie. But then I started to look back and I say, which striker I know that is so comfortable on both legs? And my mind runs straight to David Villa. That is David Villa from Spain that used to play for Barcelona. That guy was comfortable and accomplished with both legs. So if we have Mason Greenwood and he managed to stay fit and, you know, injury-free, then, man, next season is looking very exciting. I mean, we still need to make a couple of signings, but with those three guys up there, Rashford, Martial and Mason Greenwood playing up top, it is looking rather good. And I mean, the coach is not just letting them play as start, he's rotating them. So sometimes we notice Rashford cuts in the center, Martial pulls out on the left. Yeah, man, so once the coach is tactically aware, these youngsters are very good for the future. But man, I can't stop singing Mason Greenwood right now. And it is not only because of the couple of goals that he would have scored. It is just solely based on his whole demeanor as a player. You know, it is just so effortless. I mean, he's not hustling and bustling and trying to score. It seems as if it is just so natural. Once he's on the left foot, he will punish you. Once he's on the right foot, he will crack a shot just the same. And you know, from when I noticed that this youngster is very good at finishing, I think it was in the earlier stage of the Europa League that Mason Greenwood had scored. I think he had scored a goal earlier with the left foot and a penalty was awarded. And you know what Mason Greenwood did? Mason Greenwood took the penalty and scored it with his right foot. And at that point in time, I was like, who does that? Your strongest leg is your left foot. And you get a penalty and you're going to go ahead and kick it with the right foot. That shows how confident the youngster is. Man, this youth, good, man. Very good. You know? And I mean, it basically reminds me of when Rashford was breaking through into the first team. I mean, there was much more buzz around Rashford. I don't know why. But Mason Greenwood, this youngster, is not only one for the future, he is one for the present. And as we are here, just remember to hop on over to Sports to the Bone. Smash a like on the videos. Remember to subscribe if you have not yet subscribed. As we look to continue keeping all of this information coming out to you guys. But Manchester United looking very good. You know, Pogba, Bruno Fernandes looking good there. Pogba spewing the passes from a little bit deeper. Bruno Fernandes marshalling in and around the 18-yard box, making things happen. And I mean, Bruno Fernandes, you lose the ball a lot, but when you have a player trying to be creative, trying to create things, he's going to eventually give up the ball sometime. And that is why we have two players sitting in front of the back four in case. Yeah, man, so this formation, very good. 4-2-3-1, very good. We have the two hole in midfield, and Matic and Pogba playing good. Fernandes in the number 10, and Lindelof and Maguire round there along with Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw. Mind you, Luke Shaw has basically hammered down his spot once again in the left back position. I tell you, we cannot overlook what Luke Shaw is doing. Luke Shaw right now, majority of the time, even in the last game, even in the last game yesterday, Luke Shaw was the one carrying the ball on several occasions. I mean, his final pass into the box, you know, majority of the time isn't what we would want it to be, but Luke Shaw has been improving, and I tell you, this Manchester United team is looking very good. I don't know if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to be the one to take us to the promised land per se, as in bringing us a title, because at the end of the day, sometimes you have to be ruthless as a manager, and I don't know if Ole is as ruthless as I would want him to be. His tactics are working now, he's getting the results, but you know, sometimes players are going to become complacent. Will he be able to say, here what, I'm going to axe you out of my team? Will he be able to make those decisions? Probably yes. Probably yes. Because we have seen him made some very strong decisions thus far. But all in all, looking really good, man. Mason Greenwood, I can't stop singing the youngsters' praises. Very good, man. Yeah, man, I tell you, this youngster Mason Greenwood, whenever he's on the ball, he's always looking comfortable, always looking as if he's going to score. You know, sometimes you have some little youngsters and you put them in the team, trying to ease them in the team, and once they're around the box, they just look fidgety. You just know they are not going to score. Not Mason Greenwood. Once he's in and around the box, if you don't get in a clean tackle on that youngster, remember, your keeper will be picking the ball out of the back of the net. Yeah, man, you're going to just hear the net rippling and shaking. This is how good Mason Greenwood is. Not very often you find a 18-year-old that is very comfortable and so balanced. Always looking like scoring. This Mason Greenwood, as I said earlier, not only one for the future, but one for the present. This guy should be monitored. He should be, you know, you want to get the best out of him. And I can imagine at the beginning of next season, well, even in this transfer window, you probably hear a couple of bids coming in for him. But guess what? A youngster coming up through our academy and making his transition into the first team, I can only imagine how exciting this youngster is to play for Manchester United. So I'm not even worried about the hungry sharks that are going to be coming after him. Mason Greenwood, one for the present, not only for the future. Sports to the bone, keeping you informed. Remember to like, share, leave us a comment. If you have not yet subscribed, hit that subscription button. Peace.